Welcome everyone, it's Rusty Money here. This is a place of live streams, challenges, let's plays, and more. So sit back and relax with your favorite beverage and a delicious donut, and I hope you enjoy this next creation. Welcome everyone to the channel with myself, Rusty Money. We are here in my testing yard on Hutan Pantai for Farming Simulator 22 on PlayStation 5. I'm going to do a very brief video of what I feel are the top 6 pulling tractors in the small tractor category by GiantsSoftware for FS25. So welcome to this little showcase here, if you will. I'm gonna highlight these 6 tractors for you. I recently did 3 live streams testing the pulling power of all the tractors in the small tractor category in the store. So in the store here, I tested all of these small tractors in this category, all except for I did not include this tractor right here. But all of the other ones, I did split them up into 3 divisions and did a live stream for the 3 different divisions. So I had 3 live streams total to figure out if exactly the best pulling tractor in this category for its size, if it would actually be this Fendt Vario that's rated at the possibility of being upgraded to 171 horsepower. And it does hold true. This is the strongest tractor in the small tractor category by GiantsSoftware for FS25. The reason I wanted to do this is just because I'm always curious as to what tractors may have some great horsepower pulling different kinds of implements around your farm that they're actually not rated for pulling. Now the way I done this is I split it up into 3 different categories based off of horsepower. Each division had about 5 or 6 tractors in it total. You can check out those live streams if you want to see what I all did and see how it was done and see what you might see as a surprise. And then the way I did it is whatever tractor won that division advanced to the next division. So I'll just tell you here really quick. The winner of Division 1 was actually this here Zetor tractor that starts at a base of 76 horsepower for 60,000 but can be upgraded all the way up to 117 horsepower for 80,500. This thing has some unreal power to it. In my opinion, can pull things far more than what it should be able to pull compared to other tractors either below horsepower range or above horsepower range, similar to this tractor. This tractor outpulled several different tractors that were rated above 117 horsepower. So if you're looking for a great small tractor under 125 horsepower, I would say you need to pick this Zetor. More importantly, I should say, if you're looking for a tractor under 130 horsepower, I would choose this one right here. Now, then in like Division 2, there was the Massey Ferguson that won, but this Linder Trac wasn't too far behind it. And then going into like Division 3, then of course the winner was the big old Fent right here. But these two tractors right here, this same tractor and the little Fent, were tied in second and actually weren't too far behind the big Fent in regards to what scores they got for each event that they did in the polling challenges. So I'll just kind of touch really quick what I did is, so for example, let's just take this big Fent here, and I'll just show you briefly what I did with all of these tractors. Now each time in each division I changed these attaching implements right here for what they had to pull, but the very first thing they had to do was they had to pull a trailer or a set of trailers loaded with fertilizer to the top of the hill that I built here on my testing yard on Utaanpantay. So basically, I set them up here at the starting line, and then I sent them off. Each tractor automatically got 1 point for the tractor itself. And then each tractor, depending on how far they pulled the trailer, got an additional point for how far they pulled the trailer. So if you look here, you can see we have an area of 1 right here, and then we have an area of 2 right up to here, and then 3 on over the hill. So they got 1, 2, or 3 additional points depending on how far they got, and they had to get past the line with the end of the trailer. And then they got an additional point for whichever trailer they pulled. So for instance, that big Fent is hooked up to the little trailer, which is 1 point right there. And then this bigger trailer was worth 2, but they never did pull the bigger trailer. And then once they got hooked up to the implements, each implement was a different point system. So this implement here requires 260 horsepower, was worth 1 additional point. This implement was 330 horsepower required, and it was worth 2 points. And then this plow was worth 360 points, or excuse me, was rated for 360 horsepower required to pull it, and was worth 3 points. And then I started them right here at the end of the field, and they had to pull this way across area 1 and 2. So if they got past 2, that was a full pull, so then they got an additional 2 points on top of everything. So it was just my way. I did this back in FS22 as well, but let's just show you here. So we'll just send this tractor on its merry way. Now, once they went up the hill, if their gearbox system downshifted to 0 at any time, they were done. So right now you can see he's at 1 mile an hour, but he has not hit 0. And he's pulling 14,000 liters of fertilizer up the hill. And just so you know, it will make it to the top of the hill without any issue. It should anyway, because when I tested it live, it made it all the way to the top without ever dropping to 0 miles an hour. And again, if it dropped to 0 miles an hour, it was done. So you'll see here that it looks like he's clearly gonna make it over the hill. So this big Fent is a good purchase for whatever you might be doing in a challenge or a survival in your items that you might want to purchase. The big Fent in the small tractor category, I'll show you that in the store here. So we'll just ride her down the hill here. We'll go pull this over here by our other 5 tractors. I'm gonna drop the trailer right there. So then basically they just hooked up to these other implements too, like so. I'll show you just really quick here. So they hook up to this other 3 implements, and then they'd have to try and pull them. So then I'd line them up. And I believe I lined them up so the starting edge, basically, of their disc system. So we'll start them right there. Started them all at that similar point and send it. Again, if it drops to 0, it was done. You can see it's climbed to 3 miles an hour and is having no problems pulling 330 horsepower. Of course, this is on flat ground, but just gives you an idea of how strong this tractor is in a small tractor category. So we'll disconnect that and we'll go park it over here. So that's just a little demonstration of what I did in the testing to figure out these top 6 that I would recommend to anybody when it comes to pulling power for any of Giant's small tractors in the small tractor category. But yeah, first off, this little Zeter that I already showed you there in the store. But now let's take a look at this 130 horsepower Massey Ferguson. This Massey Ferguson is 92,500 for a starting horsepower of 95 horsepower, but we'll upgrade it to 130 horsepower for $110,000. Now you can see some other customizations there, different wheels, brands, and wheel setups, and you also can have a front loader on it. But this is a great tractor for its horsepower it's rated at as well. It's pretty strong and has a great gearbox system. Alright, then we'll go to the Slender Trac. Now the neat thing about the Slender Trac is it's all-wheel drive. Okay, and I didn't have the all-wheel engaged when it did these polling events. I only had it in two-wheel drive. But let's take a look at that Linder Trac in the store. Okay, the Linder Trac here you can see is 136 horsepower for $123,000. You can also get a front loader on this, but it doesn't change in horsepower. That is the most it can have, or the minimum it has is 136 horsepower, but it's another great little tractor in the small tractor category by Giants. Alright, now we'll take a look at this Fendt. This Fendt is the Fendt Vario, the Fendt 311 Vario in the store here. It has a base price of $134,500 for 113 horsepower. It will upgrade all the way up to 142 horsepower for 149,500. Now it's got some different wheel brands and setups. You can also get it in the Black Beauty version. And you can put a front loader on it as well. But it's a great tractor. It's quick. It's probably almost one of my favorites out of all of these top 6 Poland tractors for small tractors. Alright, then we can move on to the same in the store. The same tractor is 143 horsepower. It doesn't upgrade to anything higher. It's got some different wheel brands and setups. You can get a front loader attacher, but 103,500 for 143 horsepower. Another good one. And then finally you got the Fendt. The Fendt 500 Vario, a great tractor here. Base price of 153,500 for 131 horsepower and goes all the way up to 171 horsepower for 170,500. Has some different customizations there, as well as, most importantly, you can get a front loader on it as well. But if I was to give you my top 3 favorites, actually, out of all of these, and there's nothing wrong with this really big Fendt, but my top 3 favorite ones probably would be this little Fendt, of course the Massey Ferguson, and the one that surprised me, the little Zetor. Those 3 are probably my favorite out of these 6. But just a little video for y'all. Hopefully this will be helpful for you when it comes to any challenges or survivals that you do in FS25 if you use just tractors by Giants. So if you like this video, please make sure you drop a tasty treat on that like button, which is better known by myself as a cop battery and by you all people as a delicious donut. Don't forget to leave us a comment in the comment section, and please share a box of donuts by sharing the videos and the live streams from the channel. But from myself, Rusty Money, we'll see you all on the flip side, everybody. Have a good one.
PlayStation